What is up, YouTube? What is going on? Hold on. Fix this. Don't know why I didn't save my thumbnail, but that's okay. But anyway, going live on WAP.com right now. What is up, everybody? Hope you all are doing well today on this Friday, March 27th, 2026, as we are closing closer and closer to ending March out, walking into April here. As always, I hope you, your family, what's going on, OG? Hope you, your family, friends, and loved ones have been doing well throughout the week, and hopefully we all have a fun and safe and humbling weekend to come. The weekend is here. I'm glad I'm off the next 48 hours, 48 plus to be honest, which includes today. And, you know, the hope is that we can cash on some slips for the NBA, for college basketball, for MLB. This is day two. Technically day two because opening day was Wednesday, was only one game, but technically yesterday was opening day with multiple games, and we have several games tonight for the MLB. But like I mentioned in the WAP and on the Discord, is that I am not going too heavy on picks for the MLB, just because, you know, really can't fully gauge on what players, batters, pitchers, and everything what they're going to be doing until roughly 2 to 4 weeks down the road. So you got to give it some time. It's a long season, 160 plus games. It is a long season. But with that, you know what? I apologize. It's okay. It's all right. It is fine. I was supposed to be on Prop Finder, but it is okay because I don't think it will let me swap. Well, maybe it will. Give me a second here. Maybe I can just swap here while I'm live. Give me a second. Like I said, I was supposed to be on Prop Finder, and because again, I'm still so used to being on Outlier, but I still do use Outlier. So give me a second here. I'm not ending the stream, so hopefully the stream doesn't end. I'm just gonna click out of this spot. At least, oh, this is for over on for you on WAP. So there we go. Real quick, bang. There we go. Officially, now we're in the spot. But again, like I said, I still do use Outlier. Still a great site, but Prop Finder gives out some really, to me, a bit much better data when it's pertaining to player prop stuff. And that's just not on NBA, that's on MLB. And I think I think they do they do NHL, but I'm not into that sport like at all, really. I know I was posting stuff, you know, about a year ago, but that was just me just like testing stuff out, see what works, see what didn't, and really can't gauge that sport. So I don't think I'm not sure, you know, who knows, I may never be able to really figure out MLB, who knows, maybe outside of some puck lines or something like that, because y'all know me, especially over on Discord and WAP, y'all know I love posting my let's see, what are we doing here? Let's look at cheat sheet. Y'all know I love posting my team props and stuff like that, spreads and parlays and stuff. All right, let's see what we can work with here today as we focus on tonight. I do have 2 picks in. Their player props, they're separate bets, possibly going to put him on a parlay. Andrew Nembhard, his PRA looks really good tonight. He is facing off against the Clippers at home. He's per his PRA is 30. Look at it. You see he's done 3 straight in the last 5, averaging 29, just shy of 30 by literally 1.1. But they're allowing 43 to the position. They're giving up 34. Still good, right? But even more so, your boy on a Friday specifically. Again, this is why I love Prop Finder, because they give information on the day. Look at what he's doing on the season, just on the Friday, averaging 31, almost 32 in the last 10 Fridays. And then you focus on his Fridays at home. He's averaging 28, 3-1. He only went down 1 time, and that was this month. So the hope is that he will go back up to where he normally is at. He's hitting at a 75% with his PRA. And that's the other thing that I like about Prop Finder. I keep saying it. They give you data per what they're actually doing the best per the spot here. So look at this. He's 100% with his rebounds even. So if you click on his rebounds, look at this. On a Friday at home this year, he's averaging 5 rebounds. So me being the capper that I am, I would take him for 4 boards at plus 200 even on Scamdle. My apologies, FanDuel. Why? Because he is averaging 4.5 in the last 4 Fridays at home. He's 3-1 to getting 4 or higher on a Friday. And so when you clear that out, you look at what he's doing in the head-to-head. He's actually 2-1 against the Clippers and 1-0 against the Clippers this season, grabbing 4 rebounds, where he had 4 against them this month on the 4th. So me looking at that, I'm like, yo, let me grab him. Let me take him for the board. So, with that data in front of you, that just kind of gives you the gist of what Prop Finder does and why I love the site a bit more when it's pertaining to the player props than Outlier. So if you're looking at this, you say, you know what, Vortex, let me go on ahead because I just seen them rebounds. Let me go on ahead and take them. And also too, they're allowing 4 on the nose to the position in the last 5, 3.8. And then you scroll down, especially if you're on it's different on the phone, but specifically on desktop, this is what it shows. You just come down here, you just look to see what players have grabbed 4 or higher. Rollins had 4, Nembhard had 5. Jones came close, he missed it by 1. Murray had 4. Castle had above the number at 7. Rust, Goatbrook, 12. Giddy, being Giddy, then you had back. So just in the month in general, this is why they're allowing 3.4 to the position. So if you feel like, he can get the PRA done or whatever, or rebounds and assists, take him. But again, if you're really looking at the data, you say, yo, like he's grabbing this amount, he's grabbing, you're taking him for 3, but you want to push him for that gusto play 4, because specifically on the day, and then on the day on the season, and then on the day at home, you'd be like, okay, all right, bet, let me go on in and take him for 4, because he probably is going to possibly potentially grab 4 boards tonight. And on top of that, he's averaging 4 just in the last last 8 Fridays, 6-2. So just wanted to put that extra spot there. Remember last stream when I talked about Pascal for his points? He was right at the cusp of getting the 23 points, and then he pretty much fouled out. So the question becomes, do you consider taking Pascal for points tonight? That's the question at hand. They're allowing on the season 20, right? Pascal's more than likely in and around 2021. So they're giving him 23. Actually, it was 23 the last time. Now, in the last 5, he's down a bit more than up, averaging 24. And again, it's only because he had 37 here, then you got the 26. But he's still getting 20 for the most part. But per the position, they've allowed 28, almost 29 to the position. So, of course, me being me, I'm going to be like, okay, what is he doing in the head-to-head? 2-1. He's 1-0 on the season. He had 29 against them on the 4th. So he made it look easy. But then, of course, I got to break down what he's doing on the Friday itself. He's averaging 23.3 on the season. He's averaging 23. So just shy of he's on the nose. And then you can break down even just the last 5, 23 still. And then what is he doing at home on a Friday? Last 10, averaging 21, but in the last 5 Fridays, averaging 21. So, but again, when he does get it, he's getting 23 or higher. Most of the time, he's going a bit more than 23. So consider possibly potentially taking Pascal for the points. Remember I talked about McConnell. He actually went out there and produced. I think he had 10 plus assists the last game. Or am I wrong? It was something that he did. Maybe it was rebounds and assists. Let me double check here. Let me see. No. Thought it was something. Okay, points and assists. I think it was points and assists. That's what he did. It was something. I thought it was like his passing or something. It was something that he did, and this is what it was. It was points and assists. As you see, he's hitting at 80% hit rate in the last 5, 70% in the last 10. He's averaging 16. You need 14. He's doing a bit better in the last 5, averaging 18. They're allowing to the position 34 on the season, or excuse me, 33, 31. So he's technically in a spot to still produce. The only thing is he's 1-2 against them. He's only 1 on the season. He had 11. So and that's the thing. It's not like he was super under on not getting the 14. He was just like right there, just a few off. Let's see what they've done against the position, because I might take him tonight. Might queue him up as a look. Look at this: Rollins, Najee, Nembhard, Herbert missed it right by the point he hooked. He hooked at 13. Fears had 10, so Fears is 1-1. He had 14 here, so it's actually looking really good for him. But again, we are technically talking about starters, right? But McConnell's a different breed because he's usually like a 6-man type of thing. He still produces coming off the bench for the Pacers, so he still has been a player that you would consider, yes, looking his way. So I actually like his points and assists. Let me see what he's doing on a Friday. He's still producing, averaging 14 on the nose. There were spots where he was getting a bit higher. And then him at home, look how beautiful that is. But on the season, he's 5-0. He's averaging 17.5 or 6. Really can't see the number. But as you see here, he's hitting much more above the mark on the day at home. So five straight Fridays on the season. He's 1-0 on the season in the month. So I would consider maybe even just bumping him up one more to 15. Look at this, 1-1-1. So I like it so much. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to queue that up. That'll be the first one. So I like that one. Did I take? Let me double check. Like I said, I have Andrew Nembhard here for his PRA. It was somebody else that I took. Let me try to find. It was Donovan Clingan for the Blazers. I took him for 29 PRA because he's in a spot to produce tonight. But it's more so his data is more so pinpointing towards him getting at least around the 30. Like, it's not fully guaranteed type of thing. Like, he either is going to hit 30 and just stop at 30, or he's going to just go under, or he might potentially go over a bit more. But it's a little bit of a risky spot, but I still like the data for him to potentially get the 30 PRA tonight. Excuse me. I apologize. Just 8. If y'all have never had liver and onions, I highly recommend. I really love liver and onions. So I just had that for dinner. So Tyler Hero, let me relook at him because I thought I looked at him about an hour or two ago. You need 30 PRA from him. They're giving out almost 32 to the position in the last 5. He's averaging 30 in the last 5, but he had back-to-back games where he went under, one at home, one on the road. He's on the road again. So back-to-back games against Cleveland. One of my main picks I did post in the Discord and WAP, I do have Miami covering the first half spread tonight against the Cavs. One of the main reasons is that they're actually 3-0 against the Cavs this year, covering the first half spread. So this is game 4 in this matchup. Personally believe that they will sweep the board, basically. So we'll see. Jared Allen is playing tonight. He's officially in, so he's officially back. He's been gone for so long. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with him being back on the court. Let's see. So Tyler Hero's best spots are his PRA, his points and assists. Both of them are 80%. His passing is 90. That's his top spot. I did look at this earlier while I was on the bus. Look how beautiful this is in the last 10. He's 9-1. Usually when he's getting the 4 or higher, he's usually hitting much higher. He's hitting 6 or higher. So that's why the average is there. But again, this is just data from the last 10 just in general, because we know Tyler hasn't played that much. So he's technically 1-1 on the season. He's averaging 6 on the nose, and that's only because he had 9 here against Charlotte on the 6th of this month. So what has he done on a Friday? Oh, I apologize. That's a Friday. I apologize. Let me fix that. So this is what he's doing in the last 10 on the season. So averaging 4, you need 4, almost 5. Head to head, he is 4-3, but on the season he is 1-0. He had 4 here on the against Cleveland. Do you take the data from last year and say, okay, he did X, Y, and Z here. He had the 9 here. And then him on the road, 7. Again, this was most of it was last year. Do you consider taking him for 4 assists, which they're allowing to the position in the last 5? Let me look and break down. Let's see. De Silva had 3 here. Jones had 3, so a couple of that were off by 1. Rollins had 4, Max had 5, Desmond had 6, Terry 4, some random player, I don't even know who he is. Quentin was off, so it's like they're right there. Most of the players are either just getting the 4 or just barely missing by 1. So this is a risky bet potential for him to still get the 4. Maybe he still gets 4 at minimum. Maybe he gets 5. Again, this is a rematch. You really don't know what's going to happen. Maybe Cleveland flips the script, blows them out tonight. Maybe it's still a close game, but it's still a high scoring game type of thing because they do kind of run fast pace. You definitely know that Miami does that too. So just something to consider with Tyler here. Personally, I still do like the passing, but I definitely like his combos. Again, him having a back-to-back in one of the games where he was under, do you consider taking him? Because maybe he does flip the script. He was literally just a couple of off here with the points and assists on the 25th. So maybe he does. Maybe. He's averaging 25 against Cleveland just in general. So, but then if we take him at Cleveland, still averaging 28. But that's only because he had 38 here. So, yeah. Do this information what you will. I haven't looked at Norman Powell in a while. Like, not in a while. Because the only reason why is because he's been injured for a good portion. Like, he's been back more recently on the month. But there were just a few times where he just sat. Now he's 3-5. He's 3-2 against Cleveland. He is 2-1 against them on the season. 37 here, 34. But I believe this is when Tyler wasn't playing. So he had 25 here. You need 27. He was just a couple off. They're allowing 30 to the position. Let me see here. You need 27. See, this one's higher than Tyler's, but again, that's the PRS. That was points and assists. Sadiq Bey had 28. So a lot of the players that you're seeing, they're getting at least mostly 20 for the most part, just depending on the player. And then there's a few that got 30. But we're talking about just the month in general. So maybe you do take your boy for the 27 tonight, because again, this is a rematch spot. So just kind of be cautious with some stuff, because you just really don't know what's going to happen tonight. Do we look CJ's way? Because he actually came through on the assist prop that I had for him. Took him for 6. He finished with 6 on the nose. He had 33 PRA last game. Maybe he does. Now, again, as I always say, if you're a believer in trends, he's in a spot to go under. Why? Because he went up, down, up, down. He went up here on the 25th. So per the trend, you would think, oh, he's going to go down, but that's not, to me, that's not, logical in my mind. But you can coincide the fact that he's in every matchup he's gone under. They're giving him 30, under 30 in every matchup against Boston. So to me, not the trend, but the actual matchup itself would tell me, oh, maybe I just fade him tonight. So if I take him under, what would the under be? Oh, no wonder they're giving him. I apologize. So sometimes not outlier, prop finder gives you the spot that they're doing the best in. So that's why they had it so high. So his actual line is not that high. It's actually 24. Here we go. But again, he's still going under in most of the matchups against Boston. He's actually 1-3 on the season. So do you consider taking his under? He had 3 straight overs. He's 4-1 on the last 5, averaging 29. Maybe tonight he actually flips the script finally and has a second spot where he gets 24. Let me look at him on a Friday. He's averaging 24. He had back-to-back unders. Let me see. Him on the road. Still, okay. Friday's on the road. He's still going under. So he's under against Boston just in general. And he's under on Fridays on the road. So maybe we fade your boy tonight. Let me flip the script. I'm going to cue that up, because I'm actually liking the under. I know for the most part, most of the time, I'm gearing towards a lot of overs, but telling y'all, I love fading player props and team props, depending on the spot. And CJ might be in the spot where he goes under tonight. So I cue that up. If y'all have not been paying attention to Nick Alexander, your boy has been balling, son. This dude went out here and scored. Look at this. Oh, 24-29. He had 18 here, here 20, 41, 22. So he's going well above the mark. Like, doing the job. He has been on one. Just in the month of March. So this is what I'll be talking. This is what I'll be, for those of watching on YouTube, this is what I'll be telling the crew here on WAP and Discord, is that when you see a player hot, if you can really find them, try to, you know what I mean, take their props where they're at, where they're hot in the moment. So currently Nick Alexander is having a really hot March. So if you've been just tailing his points, you're up, especially if you take him on some daily, you know what I mean, ladders and stuff like that. You're up, right? So he's still connecting with his points. So I'm going to automatically cue that up automatically without even looking at extra data currently. But let's look and see what he's doing on a Friday. He's still up. He's averaging 22 in the last 10 Fridays. Last 5 averaging 20. So if you bump him up to 19 to 20, if you feel like you can get 21, take it. Again, when you're looking at the stuff, you see that he's getting even higher than the 20. He's doing 21 or higher. Maybe you bump him up to the top spot, which is 21 at the 22 at the plus 218. But you single bet this one because he's mostly getting it just in general, right? Especially on a Friday. He is 6-4. He did have 3 straight Fridays going under, right? But that's per the 22. But again, per his 18, he's handling business. So maybe you just bump him up, not even to 22. You take it on a straight bet, see if he does it, but then you take him at 19 or 20. He's still producing. And then Friday on the road, 4 straight Fridays. Technically on the season, he's 5-1. He's averaging 21, just shy of 22, 21.3. Again, anytime he's getting 22 or higher. So I like him for the 18. So I like it. I'm gonna queue that. I already queued it up, and I'm probably potentially gonna ladder him up. Maybe let me go with it again. Maybe I bump him up to, because again, I really do like his points the most. That's what he's doing the best outside of the points and rebounds. So they're allowing 27 to the position, 37 to the position in the last 5. So they're giving up the points. So I'm probably going to ladder him up, and I'll post this in the Discord and the WAP shortly after. So I'm probably going to bump him up to, say, 20. So I'll take him at the original line at 18, take him at 19, and then take him at 20 and stop there and see if he, once again, does it again. So I like his points. So far, that's like been the best prop so far. But I keep telling y'all, I really don't like taking player props because players will let you down, but team props, for the most part, will not. For the most part, there are times where team props go the other way. I think if you were on the WAP in the Discord, you saw that one slip that I put in for the player props, all of them to go over their PRAs and stuff like that. It actually went the other way. It reversed. Every player prop went under. So had I swapped it like I normally would do, I would have still cashed. So I was, believer in the data, and the data went the other way. It just happens that way. See, I would love to look at Isaiah Joe's way. He just hasn't been producing. AJ went under. Yeah, he's going under 3 straight. Let me see this here. See, they're allowing so much to the position. You would figure that he would go out here and get 20, 21, maybe 22 PRA type of thing, plus value, maybe higher. Maybe he flips the script because again, he's 1-4 in the last 5 to going over. Basically, 1-3. Yeah, 1-4, but he's 4-1 to the under. Head to head, he's 0-1, but this was last year's numbers. Let me see what he's doing on a Friday though. Still under, so maybe you fade him tonight. He only had this big one, and then well, again, per potential trend, maybe you, because you figure he had 33 here, right? He had 32 the last recent Friday, right? So the very next Friday he had 20. So if you're a believer in the trend where he had the plus 30, he's technically in the spot where he can hit the number tonight. But again, he's mostly under on Fridays. So maybe, let me look at him at home. He's still under on a Friday. So maybe you still fade him for the under. In the midst of them giving up 45 to the position. But he's mostly coming off the bench. So it just depends, because again, Chicago specifically is a team that they'll ball, they'll give up points, but they'll still, some players will still go off on them. So AJ may flip the script on this Friday tonight and actually get the 20 or higher tonight. So we'll see. Give me like 2 minutes, maybe a little less. I'll be right back. I gotta go do something real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Apologies for the brief pause. Had to go. I was running too. I'm a little out of breath. Had to go run and do something real quick. I haven't looked Jabari Smith's way in a minute. He came through for me earlier in the season. I think it was November, maybe December. It was one spot. He was in a spot to hit some threes. It was plus value for him to hit 2, and I think he hit 4 that game, if I remember correctly. Let me look at his threes real quick. He's only 40%. He did hit 3 threes a few times in the last 10. Okay. Fascinating against Memphis. Now, this is probably in and around the time when Ja was still playing. The one thing that I was looking at for my Grizzlies, do I want to fade their team total points tonight? That's a question that I have for myself personally, because we've gone under our team total points. I think it was like 3 straight games or something like that. It's something. So I'm just trying to, because we're playing against Houston here, and Houston still plays some decent defense. So it just depends on who they're playing. But let me see. Jabari Smith. Do I take him for his PRA? Is that the only? Let me see. So he's, well, points and assists are better. 4-1 in the last 5. He's averaging 17. He needs 17. Averaging 19 head to head. He's 1-1 on the season. 2-0 against Memphis. Maybe just had a down spot here on the 26th of January. Now, what is he doing on a Friday? Back-to-back Fridays. 19 and 25. He's averaging 17. My Grizzlies per the position in the last 5 are allowing 24. So plenty of breathing space. Let's see, Vassell had 23. Barnes is a bum. Kuminga had 19. You're looking for 17, right? Bridges had 14. They shut him down. They shut Tatum down. Cameron at 23. Williams was close. Well, was a few off. Miller was a few off. I miss Miller because I looked at his points. It was plus value for him to get 10, and my gut told me to take him and bump him up to like 12 or something like that. I didn't do it, and your boy went out there and finished with 15. So I am still upset at myself that I did not take him for 12 points. I think it was like 2 nights ago or something like that. So that is all my fault, because I would have shared that slip too. It would have been a single bet, like real quick, boom, here it go. I just didn't look at his 15 points, so it was more than likely much higher, more than likely like plus 300 or 400 or something. So missed opportunity. I don't know if he will get 15 tonight on the road. Who knows? Just in general on the month, it's like a few got the 17, but there's a few names on here that can still produce points and assists, but it's just that they kind of got shut down. We're talking about actual like starters, so maybe I still take him for 17 PRA tonight. I mean, excuse me, points and assists, PA. He's 1-0 against them, but that was last year's numbers. This is him on a Friday. Look at that. He's under on a Friday. Nothing on a Friday. Now he was a couple of off here. Back-to-back Fridays we have 14. Now again, we're talking about him facing off against Portland and Detroit, so those are understandable. San Antonio is understandable. Well, we're just talking about on the season. So maybe again, potential spot for him to actually do it tonight. I'm gonna take the chance, because again, my Grizzlies, we really don't play that good of a defense, right? So I personally feel like Jabari can get the 17 tonight. Just being honest. Let me fix that. So I'm gonna cue that up. It's just that he's been producing a bit better more recently. The question becomes, can he do it tonight? Amen Thompson, I did look his way. I forgot what made me not pick his stuff. I can't remember. I looked his way while I was on my way home. Maybe this was it, because he's in the middle with most of his props. I think that's what it is, because he's in the middle. Hold on, let me see. Okay, points are better. Still trying to figure out why maybe it was just an off night here. So he's averaging 19 points in the last 11 Fridays. 6 and 5, just above 500. And then Fridays on the road, 1 and 2. I think that's what it was. When I saw this, I was like, oh well. But the only thing is that his one against Memphis is this day, and it was on. Excuse me, apologies. So he had this one, but I meant to say the head-to-head. This year specifically, he had it here at Memphis on the 5th, where he had 28. So just in general, he's 1-1 on the season, but here he had 28. So again, another potential spot for another player on the Rockets to potentially go out here and produce. So I'm gonna cue this up as well. It's not a guarantee that I would potentially take it as a straight bet. Now again, we're looking at mostly PRA stuff, but I still want to look at a couple of the other props. I did look at Ace Bailey and Sensabaugh. They look good as far as what you see here. But when you actually dive into the actual data, you see that they're not producing so well in the last 10, especially Ace Bailey. On a Friday, he's going under on every Friday. Specifically on the season, and on Fridays on the road, still under. So the question becomes, do you consider, again, he's playing against Denver. They're giving up 35 to the position. Do you consider taking Bailey tonight for the 30 PRA? Do you consider fading him tonight or just not taking him at all? It's just a question that you have to ponder, because when you look at the list here, there's players that did get it, players that didn't. But you kind of want to look at the actual starters, who's actually they're facing off against. They shut KD down. Who else was on here? I seen Gigi. They shut him down. I'm talking about the player to get the actual 30. Barnes got it. Royce O'Neal didn't get it. PJ got his randomly. His was 23. He got 35. So personally, just in general on the month, most of these players that are actually starters have been shut down from getting 30. And on top of that, he's going under. So, you know what? They're not letting me. Is he questionable? Let me look that up. Okay. Phone's in my pocket. Let me look this up. Maybe he's questionable. That's probably why. Because I was gonna queue him up for his under. He's in. They're not letting me queue up his. Okay, there we go. Even just 28, still. He's still in the spot to go under, even on the road. He only had this one here on a Friday, so he's still going under. Excuse me. Again, in head he's 0-2. So, I actually like the under. So we're actually finding some unders. Let's see. I did look at Bub. I don't know if I want to consider taking him. Coop has just been, for the most part, balling. I do have him for a Rookie of the Year slip. So maybe he goes out here and balls again tonight. They're allowing 41 to the position. You need 35. They're allowing 41 in the last 5. Let's see. Was that Luka or who was that? Rollins had 44. Murray, they shut him down. You're looking for 35. No, VJ had 33, so he was 2 off. Collier at 29, he was a few off. They shut LaMelo down at 22. Almond had 40. So, again, a lot of these players are not doing what Cooper does, though. That's the thing. Cooper goes out there, he does everything. Shoots. I think he's been a little more confident with shooting his threes too, a little bit more, just a little bit. Just a smidge. Okay, so he's down more. There was a spot, I could have sworn it was a while ago he was hitting. He was back here, that's why. Because he was hitting some threes back here, and he's back down again, but he went up here more recently. So, Coop. Let's see. Even his rebounds and assists are 80%. His points and rebounds are 30%. Fascinating. Hold on. Oh, that's why. Because they... Here we go. 35. So I'm saying they keep doing that. Let's go rebounds and assists. Okay. He is producing 15 or higher. 2-0 against them on the year. In and around the number. Averaging 14 in the last 5. 14 in the last 10. Okay. He's averaging 10 in the last 10 Fridays. 11 in the last 5 Fridays. Just in general on Fridays, averaging 10. So then him on the road, 2-2, averaging 11. You need 13. They are allowing 13 to the position in the last 5. They're actually guarding the position well. But again, a lot of these names are not doing what Cooper does. So consider that. Like VJ, you would, yeah, he goes out there and grabs rebounds and passes the ball and stuff. So yeah, you would figure he would do it. Collier, more so, it would be more so his assist, but he still sometimes grabs a couple extra boards. So he had 12 here. Nembhard at 11. So a lot of the players that actually go out there and produce, they shut them down, but barely. They shut Murray down a bunch here. So even DiVincenzo a bit more. So the actual names that I'm talking about, they actually go out there and actually really produce. So a lot of them are getting definitely 10 or higher. So he's still potentially in a spot to get the 13. Now, has he had 4 straight? He did have 4 straight rebounds and assists, but that was on the back end of January. He has had 2 spots where he had 4 straight. So he's technically in a spot to still get the, because he did it 3 straight days. So he's potentially still in a spot to get 13. So I'm going to go ahead and queue it up. I'm going to take the chance. Because Cooper he's telling y'all, he's been cashing for me. For the most part, anytime I've taken him, he's like 90% cashing for me. Like, I love it. The young man has found his groove. He's found his niche. And that's only due to him working with Kyrie. There was a video that came out, I think it was like 2-3 weeks ago, of showing him practice. And this was in and around the All-Star break. So that video went out, more likely went viral, stuff like that. Showed him practicing with Kyrie. And then they eventually then tied it into actually showing him in game the results of those practices with Kyrie. So just, want to put that out there. That's why he's been producing much better, because Kyrie has given him game, giving him, putting him down to how to go out there and produce on the court better than what he was in the beginning of his rookie year. I really don't like Denny's information. Maybe everything you would probably maybe fade his stuff. He's been more down than anything. Maybe because he's not fully healthy. Like he's been coming back, but then, going out for so long, then coming back. Maybe that's the reason why. Now, 5 straight Fridays under. Because we're giving him 40. I do kind of feel like this is kind of high. Even just 39 is kind of high. I think that's due to what he did here. But again, we're talking about Fridays on the day. Yeah, he's been going under for the most part on the Friday. They're allowing 32 to the position, but they've allowed 43 in the more recent. Maybe he bounces back. Let's see. Boston, Moody. Kawhi had 42. Daniels had 29. So a lot of players, again, a lot of these players are ball dominant. So a lot of them are not even getting the 40. So maybe you fade him for his PRA. Just in the general in the month. Not a lot of them have gotten it. So I actually like his under. I'm going to flip it to the under. I'm going to maybe potentially drop him down to 38, which is better value, better line. I mean, if you feel froggy enough to drop him down to this plus 109, which I don't really see this number that much. Maybe he does go under. Let me re-clear this up. Now, more recently, he's been up 3-2 to the over. Head to head, he's more so gone under. But he actually likes playing against them, 40 plus each. So maybe you don't take him for the under. Because again, per the data, you sort of say, oh, he went up 3, but he's been going down most of the time, blah, blah, blah. Head to head, he's usually going under, blah, blah, blah. For the most part. But on the year, he is 2-0 against them, getting way above the mark. That's why they had it. I think this is why they had it at 40, because of here. Because what he's done again head to head in the season against them. So they're allowing 43 to the position. He's getting 40 plus against them. I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe I just don't. And see if he goes out there and produces again. Maybe he does. Yeah, remember I said I took Klingling for his 30 PRAs in the spot. He's producing last 5. They're allowing 39 to the position. You just need 30. That's on the season, and 42 on the last 5. On the Friday, 4-1. Just in general. And then at home, 3-2. So he's literally, like I said, he's literally in and around the number when he gets it. He doesn't really hit higher than the 32 for the most part on a Friday, but he's produced higher than the 30 here. So maybe he does get in and around the number because of the day, more so because again he had 2 back-to-back high spots. So again, just showing you the data just in case you want to potentially take him for the 30 tonight. I took him specifically on a straight bet. That's pretty much everything as far as PRA is concerned. Let me look at Austin here, because I really have not bet on this young man. Sheesh, they're giving up 51 to the position. Sheesh, that could be due to Luka or something. Let me see. You need how much for him? 30? Is it because of Malink? Everybody else is going under, but again, a lot of these names are more bench players than anything. Holiday at 25. Grimes had 40. They shut Walker down. Yeah, a lot of these names are not starters, ball dominant, so a lot of this data is not clear cut to say, okay, even fade, fade the player prop. So more so you're going off of just data just in general, just the base. This is the base data. Last 10 he's averaging 30, almost basically 35. Last 5 he's averaging 31. You need 30. Head to head he's 2-1 against them, but he's 0-1 against them. But this was on the 3rd last month where he had 20. But again, more recently, they're allowing 51 to the position. So now we break down the day. He is balling on a Friday, averaging 38. Pretty much on the season, 39. So me, as I always say, looking at the data, I'll bump him up. Okay. So actually the actual real data is 31. So I will bump him up to 32, 30, 33, 34 stuff. Take the extra juice, push. I like his PRA. So another player, maybe possibly potential ladder him up because he's producing on a Friday. He loves playing on Fridays. So I really generally like this. Again, look at what he's doing. He hit 31 once. Any other time that he's doing it, he's going well above the mark. So just saying, you might want to potentially take him for 35, which is what? Plus 159. And if you feel like you can get the 40, feel froggy enough to take him for the 40, take him for the almost plus 400, the 40. So he's in the spot. They're allowing so much of the position, so he just might go out there and go heavy, much heavier than what he's doing. But I like his PRA. So what do we have here? Trey Jones. I forgot that I took. That's right. I did take Trey Jones for his PRA 21. He's in another spot. Same situation. Ball in the last 10. On a Friday, he gets the job done for the most part. And then Fridays on the road, still getting it done. My Thunder, per the position, are allowing almost 43 to the position, 41 in the last 5. So he's potentially in a spot to potentially still get in and around 21, maybe a little bit higher, because he's been producing even on a Friday. So that the only thing is that he's 0-2 against them, but this was but 0-1 this year because they played against each other on the 3rd of this month, and he finished with 19. So literally just one off. So personally feel like he can go out there and actually produce against us tonight, even on the road. So we'll see what happens. But I took this on a straight bet for him to do that. So we have that. Josh Smith, because as you're seeing, I'm pouring more energy into the PRAs, more deeper into the player props a bit more, even than missing me not really liking player props. So yeah, I know that I was putting out slips for like players who got to get 10 points and stuff like that. Those were producing, but then they kind of fell off. So I'm not sure if I want to do something like that tonight. Maybe I do, because I was thinking about that today because there's a big slate tonight. But again, the data just has to look right for, just as usual, 4 players to get 10 points. So same thing here. Do we take maybe 3 players to do something tonight on a parlay? Because I don't know if, let me see. Who did I say that I really liked? It was Cooper Flagg, Austin Reeves, even Alexander Walker. I actually do, again, kind of do like fading McCollum tonight. McConnell's even in the spot. So how about we do take, hold on, sorry, give me 1 second. Uno moment, my man. If you saw my slip that I posted for the MLB, real quick sidebar for the MLB, the HRR slip that I sent out that had where the heck is it at? It had Stanton from the Yankees, Soderstrom for the Athletics, Marcy, now the sophomore, no longer the rookie, for the Marlins, and Miguel Andujar for the Padres. 4-leg, 2 HRR. Needed Stanton for 2. He hit a home run. He got his. So we're good. Judge hit a home run. So we're good on that, at least for that. So Stanton came through. I'm glad about it. And we move on. We pretty much move on to the next player. But again, for the MLB, you're seeing me just go real light, real simple, just 2 HRRs. Because again, y'all know, for those of you over on Discord, when I was streaming over there last season for the MLB, I was talking heavy about HRRs. Like, yes, a lot of y'all take the you can still take the home run stuff. As I always say when I was talking about this over on Discord, I will never tell you to stop doing something, even if it's not, being super profitable for you. Maybe it's just not working currently. Maybe you just need to just adjust and flip to something else while you do some more extra test runs for the main spot that you're really looking to gain, the bigger wins for yourself, because that's what the home runs are for. Those the home run parlays or you're looking for the extravagant wins. That's what that is. But your base is literally your single bets. That's your base profit, and then your 2 legs, 3 legs, 4 legs at max, maybe round robin, that stuff. That is your next level of building your bankroll. But again, your base is literally your single bets, where you're just single betting most of your stuff, and you're either like, your single bets are either gonna break you even for the most part, or actually have a positive level of a height of profit for yourself. Single bets can still take you under on your bankroll, because again, it's not fully guaranteed that you will have a positive outcome. It's just that it's sports. On any level, you'll have high positive bankrolls and low negative bankrolls. You just will. It's just, you just got to find your niche, got to find your spot, see what's working, whatever's working consistently on a 60, 70, 80% hit rate. Most of the time you stick with that while you're still trying to do some extra stuff on the side, which includes the home run parlay stuff. But I'm always like, yo, you don't really need to be parlaying 5-6 leg home runs unless you're round robining and stuff, and you really believe that your reads are going in the right direction, where most of those players are hitting, smacking the ball out the park. Because it's telling y'all that is like a high risky, low return rate, just being honest. But you would still single bet your home runs too. Just saying, because that can still be a positive and great way to build a bankroll. But again, the players still got to do the job. So enough of my rambling. It's just that I just want to make sure that you all are doing your best to not break your pockets, but make clear-cut positive decisions that will benefit your own betting journey. This is your journey, not mine. I will never sit here and tell you that you should stop doing this. Like, you decided to do this, keep doing it, figure out a way to win, and accept the results for what they are and keep moving. And then take your breaks in between when you feel like you're getting burned out. Come back to the table when you're ready to do it again. All right, so I'm going to take Alexander Walker for his points. Let me drop this down to 18. Because I really like him scoring tonight yet again, even on the road. And TJ for his, what was it, points and assists? TJ points and assists. So pretty much we're relying on TJ up front. So we'll just do this quick parlay here. Like I said, per the list that I have, if you see anything on here, if you want to screenshot this stuff, and then just put your own little parlay together, do it that way as well. CJ, or excuse me, not CJ, TJ. Points and assists. Here we go. Points and assists. What is that? 13 and a half. And actually, that's a great value over on DraftKings in the -105. And then we're gonna rely on Austin tonight for 31 PRA, right? Yeah, 31. Where the heck are, here we go. Austin. Okay. Again, won't put this on Scamdul because they don't respect your coin. Player gets injured, they're like, oh, we're sorry, the player got injured. We just won't honor your slip. We won't, void the player out so you can still get paid. We don't rock with those type of sportsbook parlays that don't honor your slip. Okay. Give me 1 second. Or give me hold on one moment. I thought I had funds on my, this is gonna be the ScoreBet app. I thought I had funds on my thing here, but I don't. Actually okay. All right, it is in. There we go. It's the MLB. Here we go. As usual, per the sportsbook, we are. Whoops, wrong one. Nope, that's not what I want to do. We are gonna do the 20% booster. Hold on. This is a plus 541 on the ScoreBet app, if I believe it's still the same. Actually bumped up a little bit. We'll take it. I'm doing this real as fast as possible. Got to do it quick. Real quick. Hurry up. There we go. Got it. It bumped up to a plus 554 with the booster. It bumped it up to a plus 665. So take that. Screenshot. This is gonna be the community parlay for the night. Let me grab the link here. Okay. There we go. Got the link. Sharing it in the Discord now. And whop, here we come. There it goes. It is shared. Let's see what we can get with TJ McConnell getting 14 points and assists. Alexander Walker's 18 points, and Austin Reeves with 31 PRA. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna look at the list again, see if I can see anything else, and I'll probably more than likely just single bet a couple of extra ones here. But I feel like we did a good enough here. Like I said, MLB wise, this is just literally just day 2 with the MLB. Here's what I'll show you real quick for what I've pretty much done. Pretty much the same standard of what I do when it's pertaining to the MLB stuff. I just pretty much just went on the side here per the data from last season, and I just went like, okay, like even like with the HRR slip, the 2, I said, oh, Stanton, he was like dark green here, right? This is pretty much data pinpointing that the player is overproducing per the slugging, the ISO, and the WOBA, right? So I clicked his stuff, and then of course scrolled all the way over to his HRR, and I was like, okay, if I'm just pinpointing 2, maybe I bump him up to 3, but if I pinpoint him for 2, I said, okay, as you see in the last 10, he's mostly green, 60%, but I went with the head-to-head. I just looked at the head and said, oh, he's averaging 3 HRRs against San Fran from last season, and I said, you know what, all right, that's that. And then I went over here and I said, okay, he's actually green when it's pertaining to Stanton hitting against San Fran's bullpen last year. He's still green in the few matchups that he played against them. And Robbie Allen, the pitcher, struggled to as far as the slugging and the ISO against the right-handed batter. And I said, okay, I'm going to take him for 2 HR. That's pretty much how it's real simple and how I looked at this data real quickly. I was like, all right, let me move on to the next player, blah, blah, blah. And that's pretty much what I would do throughout the entire MLB season. But there's just some extra stuff that I would do on the side. But again, like I mentioned in the WAP yesterday, is that I'm waiting for middle of April, maybe pushing closer to May, because Prop Finder is gonna gather all the information over the course of the next 2 weeks, and it's actually gonna break down, showing you real quick. It's actually gonna break down a little bit of the extra data that you want, and that is this stuff here. What is the player doing during the day? What are they doing on the road? What are they doing in the month? Or let's say, what did they do the month prior, right? But again, in the month. So we're in March now, again, waiting for April to roll around to see what he did specifically in this month. And they're giving you the day, what they did on the day, which he was still green. He was a little bit red here, but green with his slugging. And, you know, his OPS here, which is really, really great information. What you want to look for is for OPS to be 800 or higher. If it's 900 or higher, really, really great. So you see here specifically on a Saturday, like tomorrow, he batted really well on a Saturday, especially with his OPS being a 1 point whatever, 1.10, 141, 147, 101 or whatever. You want this type of information in front of you for the MLB season if you're using Prop Finder. Highly recommend that you get Prop Finder because this is helpful. And also too, they give you the stuff versus the lefties and stuff like that. So this is what helped me become a good enough, or possibly potentially a really good, better when it's pertaining to the HRR stuff last season, and why I was taking players for, you know, not just 2, not just 3, but 4 HRR. And you'll be seeing some of my slips from Fanatics. I do have a slip tonight that I'm going to share in a little bit, but it's going to be after the stream. It's just me taking a risk tonight because of the data that I looked at. I've taken 2 players to get 5 HRR. Well, 1 player to get 5, another player to get 4 on a slip, just a 2-leg on Fanatics, because Fanatics allows you to pick 5, 6, 7 HRR. We're talking about plus 1,000 or higher. And I'm like, yo, this is what I need. This is what I want to push for, to be able to put together 2 legs at minimum, 3 legs at maximum, to go out here and potentially break the books back by simply putting together a 2 or 3 leg parlay for HRR for 5 or higher, plus value, super plus value, and watch those tickets cash, hopefully cash for sure, and win, you know what I mean, throwing 5, 10, 20, whatever on the slip and walking away from the table, making it much more simpler, because again, you have the advantage, right? Prop Finder is giving you the advantage, giving you the data. You just read it, you go with your gut. Sometimes even you're like, you know what? Because again, like I tell people, most of my picks are data driven. It's literally, my emotions are mostly out the door, literally mostly out the door. I'm just like, oh, this is green. Oh, this is blah, blah, blah. Oh, the player did this on this day. Okay, cool. I'm taking it. Or the team or whatever, from what y'all see from my my NBA stuff with the first half spreads, team total point. You know what I mean? I'm just like, hey, like, I'm just going with the data. And as you see, sometimes it cashes, sometimes it just misses. It is what it is. And there are times where I'm just like, dag, like, kind of felt like it was just getting ready to get there and it missed by that 0.5 or whatever. And it's just like, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, most of the time I'm just like, hey, it just didn't go my way. I just move on to the next bet. So that's why I say I literally, for the most part, I throw all my emotions out the window. I'm just like, hey, I just lost, you know what I mean? I lost $50 today. Oh, well, you know what I mean? Moving on. I won $150 today. Cool. Move on. I'm not like sitting there like, yo, like I did. I'm like, nah, I throw it like, I don't know. I guess I'm a strange human being. I try to keep my emotions down and just hope for the best with any pick, any slip, or anything that I do in life, and just it's either going to go the way that I hope it goes or it's not. I really don't sit here and really believe that I deserve anything in this life. Like, I have a chance at a good life. There's no guarantee of it. You know what I mean? That's why I tell people, like, stay humble, because you just never know what life's going to throw your way. I've lost a lot. You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm just like, that's life. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if I never be a six-figure income earner, or that money doesn't really matter to me. All like that. Just being honest, I really don't care. It's just a piece of paper at the end of the day because somebody said it had value. So, I don't know. I just prefer just being kind to human beings, just on the basis that they're another human being like me. Like, I don't really look at you and be like, oh, you got money, you're important. Like, no, like, you're important because you're you, not because of your bank account, son. That's meaningless to me. How do you treat yourself, your family, friends, loved ones, a stranger? If you're decent enough to be kind to somebody else, you're decent in my book. But enough of my rambling. I'm out. Y'all stay safe, stay humble. Tomorrow, because I'm off the weekend. You all can see this on YouTube, because you can't see it over on WAP. NBA has 2, 4, 6 games tomorrow. MLB has 2, 4, 6, 8 games tomorrow. Basketball for the college, for the kids, there are 4 games today, but then tomorrow there are 2. So I'm gonna look at the Elite 8 here. It's Iowa and Illinois, and then Purdue and Arizona. I'm gonna see if I can find anything for those 2 games and see if I can pick some slips or something. We'll see. But we'll see. But let's hope for the best for tonight. Try not to stress, and let's just enjoy some games, enjoy some sports, and hope you all have a safe and humbling weekend to come. But I'll hopefully holler at y'all tomorrow. Peace.